Okay, so this little tutorial is specifically on doing color chips. And when I say color chips, I mean kind of showing a color palette in your inspiration board, trend board, or for whatever reason, you might show your prints, your patterns. You can use some of these tools for a lot of different things, but I'm going to show you some of these tools specifically for making color chips on your board, but you would definitely need this for other things as well. So let's say I love these images and I had them all beautifully arranged. A few things. So I'm going to do my color chips and I'm going to just do them. I'm just going to create these very simple square boxes. Now, color chips, they can be circles, they can be a fun star, they can be a fun image or shape that maybe would show up elsewhere in your inspiration. I mean, don't feel limited to just like a plain old chip. You can take that forever you want it to be. So, but you do like them to be the same size and nicely aligned and things like that. So let me show you a few things. So again, let's go into the selection tool. I'll select this and I can do my Control C, Control V. And again, it usually puts it right on top. So I'm just gonna, let's just do these three. I'm gonna really make them unaligned so I can show you how you can line them up. So, okay, I have my 3 chips, and let's say here in these images, I am really wanting to register the orange, the green, and this purple. Sorry, these things are always very random when I do that on the spot. And let's say I wanted to take them from the image. I don't have like a Pantone color that I specifically really want, because you don't have to, these images don't have to be like perfect. Perfectly matched. But let's just say for this instance, I am trying to match this photo, this image, whatever the case is. So I go into modify selected color, and that's what kind of brings up my color chooser. So now I'm wanting to take the color as the screen, okay? I mean, you can, of course, you can come into Pantone here and, sorry, let me make this a little bigger, and let's say I really did want to come in here and pick a beautiful orange, like this orange, and that's what was going to be in my color chip, even though this did perfectly match. That's cool. But let's say I want this to perfectly match, so I'm going to close out my Pantone, and this is where I can go into measure screen, and it can give me my little arrow dropper thingy. So I click that. And then I want, let's say I do want this kind of darker orange. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just picking one. And it gives me that in the Pantone. So then I can go into the Pantone book and it actually finds that color. So look, it's more of a red actually that it measured. If that wasn't right, you can just click it again. And maybe I want the lighter orange. And again, finding it in the Pantone book, and I just bring it on over into my color palette. Same thing for, I think I said I was going to do the green. Okay, so let me pick my green. I like kind of the darker ones. There we go. There's my darker green. And let's see this. I really liked this purple over here. Click this again. Select. I want the darker purple. I'm kind of dark and moody these days. I bring that over. So there you go. I have my colors that I want for my color palette that I've taken right from the screen. Or of course you can always just choose them. So again, with the selection tool, I will select the box. I want to fill it. So I'm going to first do, I'm actually going to choose this orange that I found that wasn't on the screen, because that's more of the orange that I want. The next one I'm gonna, fill with this yellow. I guess it's like oh no, that was one that was like I measured, right? Okay, so let's do this green. It really doesn't matter. This is just for example, and the purple. So yay, I got my 3 colors. 3 colors is pretty limiting for a color palette, but you get the gist. So now you, of course, could arrange these color palettes in like a random display or whatever the case is. I will say very traditionally it's, you know, aligned on the side or on the bottom. Here, I'm going to make them unaligned so you can show, but if you want to line them up perfectly. And you go ahead and you are going to push down Shift and click these other guys. You're going to right click and go into Align, and this is where you can align them up and they perfectly line up. You can kind of play with the different, oh, and then distribution too. I'm sorry, it makes it, so if I did horizontal, it did just barely shift it, to make them perfectly aligned, the spacing in between as well. So look, oh, it's perfectly aligned. One more thing that I want to add about your color palette here at the tail end of this video is creating the text. So really you just go up to your text. You just can kind of click down and it gives you a text box, and I can just say this is purple. I'd want to label. But let's say that wasn't the right font. So you can just highlight it and you can just come up here and you can select a different font, a different, you know, size, whether you want it bold, italicized. You can even change the color of it. And then, you know, once you have it, you'll want to do the direct selection tool to then actually like move it anywhere that you want it. And again, you can always Control C, Control V, and copy that over and just change the text a bunch of times. So that will help you in making your color chips and color palette on your mood trend board, inspiration board. But of course you can use it for creating the title of your mood board. You can align different images, obviously fill and find colors for different things, but in general, for specifically your mood board, those are your tools you need. All right, let me know if you have any questions.